Welcome to the Supercast. I'm your host, Superintendent Anthony Godfrey. He has been helping students carve out successful futures in a skilled trade for more than 30 years in Jordan School District. On this episode of the Supercast, we go inside Rick Miner's woodworking classroom at Mountain Ridge High School, where students are learning a valuable skill crafting everything from beds and chairs to chess sets, wooden spoons, and pens. Hi guys, how are you?
Welcome to Mountain Ridge High School Woodshop.
This looks a little different from the last time I was here, and it's full of great projects.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And these kids would like to show you some of these very cool projects that we got going on. But this, first of all, this is my most advanced. I call this my Woods 3 class.
Okay.
So these students will almost certainly go into this for an occupation.
Okay.
Or they will at least use this to get them to their occupation. They'll work in this field while they're getting to their occupation.
I see a lot of heads nodding, so I'm going to want to talk with them about that.
I would love that. I'm so glad you're here.
I'm so glad I'm here, too. This is awesome. And it smells good in here.
It does. I was going to say that's me, but it's not. It's not.
Yeah, it's what type of wood do you work with?
We work with oak and alder and cherry and maple and walnut. We just got done shaping up some walnut a few minutes ago, which I think Landon's going to show you. But we'll just guys, show him the projects. Let's start there.
Yeah, let's check it out. Tell me your name.
Tony.
And tell me what we have here.
Oh, they're pegs that I turned on the lathe. That's the machine it's called.
Wow.
So,
What are some of the materials you use to make these pens?
Walnut, resin.
Oh yeah, the colorful ones are the resin?
Yep.
That's really something. Wow. So you have obviously different shapes that you do, different thickness?
Yep.
Wow, that's amazing.
I always keep a few for myself.
Where you keep a few for yourself? That's always a good policy. Is that a favorite?
Yep.
Do you have people start to request them once they see that you make these?
Every once in a while, but not often.
Yeah. That's awesome. Great job. Whoa! Everywhere I turn, there's something else. This is like a Lord of the Rings spoon or something.
That's exactly what he called it.
Really?
That was built by Miles right there.
Oh, Miles, come tell me about this spoon. You could beat back orcs with this spoon, I think.
So it's a 5-foot spoon, roughly, and I built it out of cherry. I just carved it out and kind of in the process of sanding it. So
this cherry spoon. Do you live in are you in a large family? Because what I picture is maybe you use this 5-foot spoon to get a serving of whatever meal is on the table before your brothers and sisters can get to it.
That is an excellent idea.
That is really something. What made you think, you know what, I'm going to make a 5-foot spoon today?
You know, I've seen everybody build like 1-foot spoons or something like that. I was like, it just kind of popped in my mind like, okay, what if I built like a 5-foot spoon out of cherry or walnut? And I asked Miner, and he kind of approved of the project, and I cut it out with the bandsaw and started carving it with the tools over there on that little chair that's on there.
You had to program.
Oh yes.
You had to make the.
So this involves some software.
Yes, so you can cut this out on the CNC. The bowl of the spoon is cut out on the CNC, so it creates a perfect bowl.
That's really something. It
Yeah.
looks really good. This is like an optical illusion cutting board. Who made the heart here?
I did.
Tell me about this one. What's your name?
I'm Landon Loveridge.
And Landon, tell me about this heart-shaped cutting board. It has all these blocks. It looks like, well, the 80s reference would be kind of a Cubert board with all the 3D squares covering it.
Yeah.
That's really something.
They call it a 3D tumbling pattern, and it's made out of walnut, cherry, and maple, and it's not a hard cutting board. It's just you got to wrap your brain around the pattern of it.
Yeah, that's incredible. How did you put this together?
It's a lot of cuts on the table saw on certain degrees, and then you kind of just glue it all up, and it looks like that.
Fantastic. So will you actually use it as a cutting board?
That one is
decorative?
actually just display.
Yeah.
I made 2 of them.
I would hate to cut this one up. This one looks really, really nice. Is it Loveridge? The heart is for the Loveridge?
No, it's just my mom wanted a heart.
Yeah, that's really nice. So you made it for your mom.
Mm-hmm.
Mother's Day gifts for days, right, guys? You're ready with that project every time. So you had to cut each individual piece of wood here from 3 different types of wood.
Mm-hmm.
Then do you glue it all together, or how does that come in?
So you kind of can glue it into strips.
Oh, okay.
Here, and then you glue it.
I didn't see the strip till you pointed it out. It's so nicely done. What's the favorite project that you've ever done?
My favorite project is probably my bed I'm making.
You're making a bed?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I made my bed, but not for a few days. A huge headboard?
Yeah.
This looks fantastic.
So this is a full bed. I should have done a queen, but I'm down to the size of my room. So I'm doing a full, and I've just made it out of maple and walnut.
I would think a man could sleep really well in a bed he made himself.
Yeah, you get a nice satisfaction of sleeping in it.
Yeah, that's really fantastic. Is this the biggest project you've made?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me your name.
Bryce Reeser. The project I'm working on right now is one of the rocking chairs, except I've made it into a double rocker, so it's like for 2 people.
A double rocker.
So I've taken like one of these chairs and I've doubled the size of it, and so 2 people will be able to sit in it. And
do you have anyone in particular in mind, or?
Yeah, my mom wanted kind of a bench for our backyard, and so I started looking for benches, and then I told her about these rocking chairs, and she was like, "Oh, it'd be kind of cool to have kind of like a one that could rock and stuff." I was like, "Okay, yeah." So I went and talked to Miner, and he thought it was a really cool idea to make a double rocker.
I'm getting this pattern that when people bring ideas to Miner, he helps make that happen.
Yeah, he does.
What's the hardest part of making a rocking chair?
I would think kind of like the seat pieces, I think, has been the hardest part.
Well, and these are all kind of, how would you describe this? All separate pieces that are lined up parallel to each other to create that seat.
Yeah.
So tell me about this table. First of all, tell me your name.
I'm Camden Gibbs.
Camden, tell me about this table.
So, my first goal was just to make a chessboard so I could play chess at home. And then when Miner said look on Pinterest, we found a cool little looking rook like this, and then we were like, I think I could build that. So then we tried, and so far it's working.
It looks fantastic. So you've cut different pieces of wood for the various squares on the board, and it wraps around to form, the board itself wraps around to create a rook.
Play when you're ready, have all your pieces on the, when I'm done with the shelves, there'll be the pieces on the shelves.
I think you're going to win every time when you play on a board you made yourself. Isn't that how it works?
Hope so.
All right.
Miles and Down would like to show you how to use this machine. They're actually going to cut out a front leg and kind of have you push the button and let this go.
All right.
We've already programmed in all the stuff. They're going to show you, let you put the piece in there. You guys let them do that with a hammer. Show them how to do that, and then we'll knock that out. And then we have something else we want to show you over here.
Okay, fantastic. Let's try it out.
Wait for the bell.
All right. So the CNC is a big part of making the rocking chair. I think around 15% of it is used on the CNC. 50% of it's on the CNC. And so today we're going to just carve a front leg out of it.
What kind of wood is this?
This is oak, 2-inch oak.
Feels dense? Okay,
Feels
great.
dense. So
and this machine is like the size of a van.
Yes, it's huge. So if you want to just lock and load it into here.
Okay, you're going to have to give me a little more information than lock and
So
load.
make sure this X is up towards the thing and then just behind this block here.
So the X is behind the block.
So
do I move it up like that?
Yep, just like
right
that.
Like that?
So put it up against it and hold it tight.
All right, I feel a sense of accomplishment now. Kind of done something today.
So the next thing that we are going to do is we're going to secure it in place using these wooden blocks and a hammer.
Okay.
And so what you'll do is...
How do I do that?
Just take one piece, just kind of slide it in there if you want to.
Oh, I see.
Slide it over there on the back.
So this will kind of wedge it up against the edge.
Yep.
So it cuts it. Am I supposed to... I'm left-handed.
So, yeah, so I can hold it. Yep.
So do I just kind of hold it and bang it in there?
Bang it in there.
How do you know when to stop?
That's good.
Okay.
This is right, and then do it. Yep.
All right. I I feel like I'm doing real work. Email does not give this satisfaction. All right.
Alrighty. So then the next thing, just to make sure it's all nice and square, is we usually take a kind of a piece of scrap and we just put it over the top, and then we just kind of use the hammer.
Kind of bang on it there too.
Bang on it.
So that it's square in every direction, or flush rather.
Alrighty. So if you want to come over here,
all right,
and then just press this play button. Right
just
there.
press play.
Just press play, and it'll start working.
All right. Well,
takes a minute. Alrighty. And then I'll move
down. Oh, that gets your attention. Cut it just right.
Yep. It will do like 6, 8 passes and change. So it'll do like 6 or 8 passes just to, and it will cut all the way through the board. And this piece probably around 5-10 minutes to do.
How does it feel to have access to a machine like this?
It feels great. It definitely relieves a lot of pain and hard work using different machines, making sure it's all right, and human error is a big thing, of course. It eliminates that.
How would you have done this without the machine?
Without this machine, I probably would have used a drill press using a circular bit to cut the 2 ends out, and then took like a chisel and carved the rest of it out. Usually what we'll do, if you just want to press this X button and hold it.
That one?
Yep.
Hold it?
Hold it.
Oh.
And so we'll move it down out of the way. That's good. Righty.
Okay.
And so then after that, usually we'll take the vacuum up the sawdust, and pull out the piece.
Stay with us. When we come back, students rock my world with a big surprise. Something I was not expecting. Find out what it is. That's next.
If you're ready to start your child on the path to personalized learning, we're ready to help. The Jordan Virtual Learning Academy is coming to Jordan School District in the 2021-22 school year. 3 new schools will be opening as part of the academy. Rocky Peak Virtual Elementary School, Kelsey Peak Virtual Middle School, and Kings Peak High School. Each school will have their own principal and teachers, and each will give students a choice in their own learning. The schools will offer synchronous learning, which is teachers providing real-time, live online instruction, and asynchronous learning, where teachers provide videotaped instruction for learning on a student's schedule. To register your student in the Jordan Virtual Learning Academy, visit connect.jordandistrict.org.
Dr. Godfrey.
Yes.
Last month, the month of February, was CTE month.
Yes.
And this class, we celebrated that, and we all kind of collaborated on a project. We'd like to show you that project right now. Could you guys kind of head over there and maybe show that to them?
Let's check it out.
So everybody here actually participated in the construction of this. Everybody took part of that. Parker, would you go ahead and pull that off?
Wow.
So these students built you a rocking chair.
That's so
and
great.
We want you to take that home or use it in your office.
Wow.
And we'll actually pull that down. We won't make you get into it while it's on the table, but we'll pull it down on the floor and let you sit on that.
I don't know what to say. I'm so thrilled. Thank you guys so much. I have nothing like this at all. I will use that every day. That is fantastic. Thank you so much. That means so much to me. This is the first time students have made a project for me, so thank you so much. Wow.
Pull that down. Let them sit in that.
High School Woodworking 3 students, 2021.
Thank you for being super.
Oh, thank you so much, you guys. This means the world. Wow. Okay, I'm going to sit in it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. My inbox just went completely out of my head. Oh.
Is there any way you could sit in that chair and we could take a picture with you with all these students around it? I'd love to do that.
I'm so touched. Thank you guys so much. That is so kind. Wow. Alan, tell me about the making of my rocking chair.
So the making, it was a whole month project. All of us participated in some way using the CNC, as I said earlier, is a big part of it, around 50%. Sanding is another big thing, making sure all the edges, all the flat surface, contact surfaces are soft, nice to sit in, nice to touch, and then just making sure, once again, mathematics, everything is at the correct width, nothing's out of square, and everything's normal.
It's so sturdy. It's beautiful. The wood is absolutely gorgeous, and I couldn't be happier. It's hard for me to be speechless, and I'm speechless. This will go to great use. I promise you that. Wow. Thank you.
I don't know if you have a front porch. I don't know if you have a front porch, but that will go great on your front porch.
I just moved, and I have no furniture on my front porch, and I was even shopping for something that rocks the other day. I'm not even kidding you. So this is where I'm going to work from home, and I do a lot of that. And this is going to be the chair. I'm going to be thinking of you guys a lot. So thank you so much. That is I can't think of a nicer gift I've ever received. Thank you. How do you feel getting to work in this shop with this teacher?
It's a privilege. It's like you probably won't see this shop once in your life. So being able to work in the shop is a privilege, like I said. So
I'm just, every time I walk in here, I just take a minute to breathe it all in. Like, this is the amazing wood shop we work in with this amazing teacher who helps us really learn this skill and hone our skills in doing this.
And learning here with Mr. Miner in this environment, that's a lifelong impact for you. How many of you want to go into a career related to woodworking? Talk to me about that. What do you want to do? What makes you want to do that?
Just kind of passion, just seeing that like I can build things with my hands, cool things that people definitely really like and will want to buy in the future.
Woodworking's always been in my family, and I just love the satisfaction of finishing a project that you spent so much time on.
You guys are awesome. What great interviews. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you so much. It was so awesome. Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Supercast. Remember, education is the most important thing you'll do today. We'll see you out there.